welcome to another countdown ranking. And for this ranking countdown, it is a request by our patron Luis. So thank you for requesting, Luis. And you decided to give us one of the hardest countdowns ever. And I was dreading the day that someone would give us Dreamcatcher.
We're vibing with this ranking, Dreamcatcher style.
Yeah, so we are going to rank Dreamcatcher's title tracks from least favorites to favorites separately. And I am a pretty big Dreamcatcher fan, so I might get a little upset with Natalie if she does some of my favorite tracks dirty. Which I think she's gonna. I'm like waiting for it. Are you ready to get started?
I'm not, because I'm like not sure what this ranking is. I'm so scared.
Yeah, it was so difficult to put together that it's kind of like probably inaccurate because I don't really feel negatively about any of Dreamcatcher's title tracks.
No.
So it was really hard to be like, which ones do I just like more and for what reasoning? Let's get started.
Alright, so before we get started, just remember this is based on our opinions. This is not factual, this is subjective, and either way, even if there's a song that's ranked as least, we obviously don't hate it because like we love every Dreamcatcher title track. This was very hard to do.
For this ranking, it's going to be 10 title tracks, and we will put the list in the comments so you can also share with us your ranking of Dreamcatcher's title tracks.
So let's start off with number 10 on the list, Odd Eye.
숨은 비밀을 봐 오달 더 깊이 빠져들어봐봐 따뜻한 꽃이만 달콤함이 가려져.
So I knew this was gonna be kind of low for both of us because it did just come out and it's not something that we've heard over time like every other title track. But when I was comparing it to the other title tracks, it like didn't have an oomph in the chorus like the other songs did for me. So I think I might have possibly ranked it down there anyways. It's still an amazing comeback because Dreamcatcher has no bad songs. Like this is not a bad song at all. I still get lit to it. But again, it's fresh, so.
I agree. Not so much that it's fresh because I listened to it a lot nonetheless. But I do understand exactly what you mean about the chorus. Like I really like the song, but yeah, I think it does fall on here.
One thing I do like of the song though is the pre-chorus. Remember guys, still love the song. Doesn't matter if it's low. Alright.
Number 9 on our lists. Deja Vu.
날 흔들어줘 답을 찾아줘 이 영역 속에서
I knew, man.
Oh my god! Okay, so before Odd Eye came out, Deja Vu was my least, I guess, favorite song from Dreamcatcher. The song is awesome because I really do like the softness of it because it does stand out for that, and the pre-chorus is probably one of their best pre-choruses ever. But there's just something about it that doesn't completely hit for me. Like I would prefer to listen to their other songs over this one, but I do really like this song for what it is and how different it is compared to the other songs.
God, I just feel bad. So what would have been my least favorite too if it wasn't for Odd Eye? But that's not to say I don't like what. I do like what. I feel like it's impactful, but to me it's not like as impactful as their other songs in my opinion. Like you said with Deja Vu, there are other songs that I'd rather listen to over this one, but this is still a good song even if it's down there. Moving on to number 8, Deja Vu.
Baby run 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 멀어지게 run 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 보이지 않는 대사부.
What? Nothing.
Are you judging me for what I picked?
Maybe. Deja Vu, kind of like what Amanda talked about. I also really like the softness of it. Hearing it again, I was like, oh, it makes it a little different because usually Dreamcatcher songs are very pumped, but this one slowed it down a lot in the verses and then it picked up in the chorus. It's still kind of like more emotional and dramatic in the chorus. I don't have anything bad against the song. It's just slower compared to other songs because I have like attachments to their other songs, but Deja Vu was still an amazing comeback and they also all looked really regal and snatched.
So I picked Good Night, and honestly it was really tough with this song and then my next 2 songs to pick the order for the 3 of them. I literally had to go back and forth to figure out which one I just vibed with more. And like Goodnight hits for me. I love Goodnight. There's nothing wrong with it. Like the tutting in the beginning is awesome. The kind of like music box sounds. I really like the guitar breakdown and everything. I guess out of the 3 songs that I'm about to list, it was the one I least vibe with, but they're pretty much the same for me. Further explained as I tell you the next 2 songs. I don't know. Okay, number 7 on our lists. Chase Me.
So I feel like a lot of people really paid dust to that song. I guess because coming from Chase Me and Goodnight, it was a different vibe. But like the anime vibes it gives me, like strong, magical, shoujo, kind of darkish vibes still that Dreamcatcher has. There's something about the song that I really love. I also love like the intense breakdown of the dance break. Amanda learned it and it was not easy.
It was not easy.
But yeah, I definitely really like Fly High and I love the vibe it had. So that's why it is like at least up there in the middle part of my list.
So I picked Chase Me, and Chase Me and Goodnight have very similar vibes to them, so it was really difficult to pick between the 2. Like at one point, Goodnight was higher than Chase Me, and then I kind of just went back and forth, especially with my next song. I had to be there and be like, why do I like Chase Me or Goodnight more than the other? And I think what I really like about Chase Me is the piano aspect of it, and the way it kind of starts more slow, and then it really picks up in the chorus. I think I really, really like, and that was such a strong debut. So
it was one of the best
Chase
debuts.
Me is great.
Moving on to number 6.
Fly High.
We have the switch essentially, they're right next to each other. So yeah, Chase Me, like what kind of Amanda said, it's a very strong debut. I think it's one of the best debuts, and I'm glad that the company gave Minx another chance to rebrand themselves, add 2 new members, and like completely just kill it with this rock vibe. Again, there's no other girl group that does it like Dreamcatcher, in the sense where like they really embody the whole like kind of rock, dark concept. So Chase Me, I learned that dance. That dance was really hard. I love the whole concept, and it's kind of like an unforgettable debut.
And I picked Fly High, so like as I was saying, this trilogy was really hard for me to put in order.
Yeah, like I realized, I'm like, you have the whole trilogy.
So that was what I was really stuck with, was the trilogy, and I was here like, God, which one I like more? And originally, you know, Fly High was kind of in the middle, Goodnight was highest, and Chase Me was lowest. That's how much I changed it. I just realized I just love Fly High so much.
An attachment.
And I do have an attachment to Fly High. I do like the anime vibes. It has some more uplifting anime vibes, but also still has like that kind of rock element to them. It's very underrated. People don't respect that song like they should, and I will forever be a Fly High enthusiast.
She gonna knock on people's door like, have you heard of Fly High by Dreamcatcher?
Exactly.
The ranking's giving me like heart palpitations.
Really? Oh my god.
These songs you feel so similar towards that it's so hard to rank them. You don't even know how accurate this is because you're like, it depends on your mood what you feel like listening to. But we are entering the 5, so
number 5 on our list.
What? I knew what was gonna be high on your list.
Yeah.
That's why she has such a fit when she saw where I put what.
Going off of underrated Dreamcatcher songs.
Which is true.
Fly High and What, people disrespected those songs. I don't know why. I guess because What came after You and I, and that was such a big comeback. I think people kind of didn't care about What, but I love how it kind of starts with the soft piano and then it goes into the rock vibes, kind of similar to Chase Me, but in a different type of rock format. That chorus really hits me. Like the vocals in that chorus, I really
What
love.
I can say about that chorus though that I like is the
not just that, the vocals are really intense, like
yeah, they are.
Like it goes like really, also the visuals for that comeback are some of my favorite. I love that music video, and I really like even the album cover. They have like a pattern with their album covers, but I really like them because it's like hot pink. Love What, I love that era, and I really wish
we have a poster of that.
Yeah, exactly. I just wish that song wasn't so underrated. It deserves more love.
I love it too. So number 5, I put Beatty. I feel like the flute is iconic. I felt like it was a nice change to what Dreamcatcher had. They added like the flute element, and I just love the and I also love the rapping, the part in the verses when Dami comes in that da-da-da-da.
She's had a gun for a while.
Okay, that rap is iconic. And if I'm not mistaken, that's when Gahyun really came in as a rapper.
Yeah.
Like Gahyun came in, I was like, oh,
I don't want it done.
We also did a full cover of this song together, and it was very intense and very hard, but it's one of my favorite covers. So I feel like that song has a special place in my heart as well as I know yours because you haven't called 𝒂𝒔𝒕 yet. For number 4,
Scream!
Oh!
Please, I don't want to scream.
That's good. I'm really surprised. For some reason I thought Scream would be a little higher on your list, but that's interesting that it ended up being the same.
Again, another iconic comeback. I feel like they hit the EDM aspect of their concept really hard with this one. The whole breakdown. I also feel like the double eyes come was just iconic. Iconic. The breakdown at the end where they're all like, I was like, holy shit.
That song does go so hard.
And the masks.
And that whole trilogy is super like iconic. And that album is perfection. It was just like a really good era. A really good era, yeah.
Woo!
Woo! Number 3 on our list.
𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕.
끝없이 난 down, down, down for me. 시간이 없어 now we
I had a feeling yours was 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕.
The funny thing is that when 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕 first came out, I was kind of like, okay. I was thinking Scream is the superior song of that year. But after like listening to both of them back and back, and I was like kind of thinking about it, I was like, something about the pre-chorus of 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕 going into the chorus, and then as you always do the high notes of she uses high notes in 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕, like they really speak to you because she's just killing it. Also, we're Hispanics, so this 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕 thing is just
Technically, your list was wrong for our songs of 2020. You gave it an honorable mention.
I did give Scream. But it still deserves an honorable mention. Scream. But 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕 would have been on there too.
I picked 𝒂𝒕, and as you said, I do have like a special attachment to 𒂂𝒕 because of learning the dance, and I really liked that dance, and I really liked the flute, the 𒂂𝒕 in the song.
She has a weakness to flutes in songs.
I really do like flute elements in songs, so I really like vibe to 𒂂𝒕. The raps are iconic. I really liked how intense the instrumental is in the chorus. I don't really know what to say
That
about
album's
it.
also really good.
Basically everything you said about 𒂂𝒕. I agree.
So now we are entering our top 2. So going at number 2,
You and I.
눈을 떠봐 내 손을 잡아봐 매일 반복되는 악몽 속에서 이대로 갇혀있어.
Good Night isn't completely opposite. Kind of like what? In terms of the-
Surprise.
So-
Good Night is your number 2.
So Good Night was my number 1 Dreamcatcher song for like the longest time. Even until recently, I had Good Night as my number 1 because there was just something about that song. I love not only the tutting, but I love the instrumental when it goes. I was like, every time that song comes on, I'm like chills because it's so anime but rock and just good. And when it gets to the chorus and the dance and the outfit, there was just something about that era that I really loved, and it was a song that I just always had as my favorite.
That's so
Dreamcatcher song.
odd because I thought this whole time that the one you did pick for number 1 was your number 1.
It was
so
Good
it's
Night
funny
for
that
a long
I was
time.
aware of this before you were aware of it.
It was Good Night for a long time. After comparing it, I was like, okay, I think it dropped a bit, but it's still like high up there for me because I think I just have this attachment to it. So
Yeah, I picked You and I. For the longest time, You and I was my number 1. That song is just so iconic, one of their best eras. Those outfits, the cane usage. Dami was here like, I'm a magician. I really like just how it starts with the soft piano. It's a pretty slow verses, very eerie.
Yeah.
And then the chorus comes in.
Let's move on. I need time to talk about it.
Yeah.
So going into our number 1, I knew what your number 1 is, to be honest.
Well, I knew what your number 1 was.
Number 1 for the both of us, You and I.
널 아프게 한다면 이제는 나와 함께해. Baby, you and I.
I don't know how much else to say about the song because Amanda kind of already went into it. I feel like it's one of the most iconic Dreamcatcher comebacks of all time. Like the era, like Yoo-hyun had like that silver hair. The outfits were just like snatched. The music video, the cane. Dami didn't have to go that hard, but she did. There's something about the chorus, like the power of that chorus that really gets to me. it was so majestic, and like to be a part of it when it came out, it was great. So that's why it is my
You
number.
know what else I really like about like that choreography? When the chorus starts, dun, dun, and they do this
The
arm
arm
swing,
swing,
and then
yeah.
someone's walking through the middle, so powerful, just like singing their part, and I was like, yes.
And the part where they even like drag the member through the other member's legs, that era was just something else.
So I picked 𝒂𝒔𝒕. Like I said, you and I was my favorite, but when 𝒂𝒔𝒕 came out, something about those reggaeton beats, man. I really like that element. It's got those drums, you know, and especially like Dami's part.
But I forgot to talk about Dami's rap, but you can cover it here.
Yeah,
That rap
Dami's
slaps.
I'm a geek, the big paradox, man. Dami's
Look at
raps
that.
never make sense, but I love them so much. I think what really tops it off for me, Shihyun's high notes. Best high notes in K-pop ever. Like, I've never heard a K-pop song with such beautiful high notes before. She just has the best ad-libs in that whole ending.
Everything Dami's rap really ties in that song too, though.
Makes me want to like dance around, so I think that's what really does it for me, because it has more of a dance element to it as well. I like that direction that they're going with, because some of their B-sides also have like EDM in it, and I'm living for it.
So that ties in our painful ranking of Dreamcatcher's title tracks. Remember, even if some songs were low on the spectrum, that doesn't mean we hate them. Because we listen to all Dreamcatcher title tracks and we love all of them. Honestly, going through my list, I'm a little bit at peace with it now. Like, I'm like, all right, I think this makes sense.
Yeah, I think my list is pretty accurate too. I fuck with 𝑭𝒐𝒍𝒐𝒏 and I fuck with 𝒂𝒊𝒅𝒂𝒔𝒕. I guess if I have to put them somewhere, that's where they go.
Yeah. So let us know what your ranking of Dreamcatcher's title tracks are. Please don't fight us. This is all an opinion. So don't forget, if you don't want to miss on any other rankings, which we have others planned that are coming, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out, because it's fun, it's painful, it's a good time. And don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, @K_junkies, to not miss out on any updates or anything that we got planned.
If you haven't yet, you should definitely check out our podcast, Talk That, which you can find on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, where we talk about a bunch of K-pop stuff, whether it's recent news or certain topics. So definitely check that out, share it, like it. And if you also want to be able to make Patreon requests, you can check out our Patreon page and join a tier and get special benefits on videos and our podcast episodes as well. Another thank you to Luis for requesting.
If you want to torture us with other rankings, be a patron.
Give us some boy groups. We've been doing a lot of girl groups.
But thank you guys for watching. Bye. I have like a drawing back here. It's me. Let us know what your favorite Dreamcatcher songs are like. Are you okay? Everyone was like, I realized like the ending, when I do the ending, when I have to like get through all that like formation stuff, I have to like move my hands a lot, you know?